Hello people, welcome to my video. Today I'm gonna present to you the quantum second core loader, or my invention. And also I'm just 18 years old, so I'm sorry if I'm not good at fluent explanations, or maybe I'm gonna try it. So once again, I'm Sharif Mohimin, the creator of this. So now let's start in this one. Alright, so QSSL.elf, it is a custom built pre-bootrom elf loader that executes from address 0, and this was operates without any exploit. It doesn't need any exploit base like checkmate, EDL hack, and so on. And it uses the entropy based logic, capsules, and spoof trust tags. So to trick the security mechanism, believing that my elf is signed but isn't. And this elf works across Apple, Qualcomm, MediaTek, Unisoc, Rockchip, Intel, and even unknown SoCs, or in future SoCs. So my elf can be injected via DFU, Comport, UART, or RAM based loaders. And also it can simulate full trust environment, IMG4, SHSH2, SecureBot, AVV, TrustZone, SEP, etc. So here's the flowchart. So here's the silicon reset vector, and this is the true beginning of execution flow. All devices, including future ones, are start here on power up before any boot room. And also my quantum second core loader is hijack this layer using entropy seeded injection. So this is my QSSL.elf, this is my custom elf, or this is my invention, and it can be injected via RAM, USB COM, or DFU. It executes directly at address 0, emulates logic capsule, fuses, Septrust, and MMIO bridges, and also it operates without CVE signature or vendor approval. So this is the ROM shadow mirror. This might be the aliases of hardware, most likely be a boot room. And in my quantum second core loader uses this region for spoof, MMIO, ROM anchoring. And also ROM shadow mirror allows mirroring boot room without touching physical fuses. So it is safe. It doesn't break the device, it doesn't touch the NAND. And this is the mask ROM. This is the vendor lock non-readable bootloader. This is the traditional first code path on most SoCs. And also my quantum second core loader bypasses this entirely using entropy mirrors and capsule triggers. So now this is the boot room. This is typically verifies SBL signatures or bots in DFU. Apple's checkmate targets this region. And my quantum second core loader never needs to break this, it starts before it. And now in Qualcomm Fuse programmable read-only memory, eFuse, and one-time programmable. And this stores ECID, UID, secure boot state provisioning masks, and also it's normally immutable. And my quantum second core loader uses logic override and fuse spoof, and bypasses hardware checks via RAM, raw, trust, capsules, and entropy. So this is the PBL, SBL, SecureBot, iBot. This is the secondary bootload executed by bootrom. This handles signed firmware chain of trust. And my Quantum Silicon Core Loader fakes validation stage or skips directly to payload logic. So this is the trust zone, SEP, and TEE. This handles secure world operations and it verifies SHSH2, IMG4, or Android AVB. And my Quantum Second Core Loader injects fake SEP capsules and mirrored entropy trust. So here's the security mechanism of many SoCs. For Apple A12 M3 Plus DFU mode. So DFU mode expects IMG4 plus SHSH2 plus ECID validation. So my Quantum Second Core Loader or my QSSL.elf injects IMG4 formatted entropy capsules. And also SEP MMIO spoofed with fake SEPC Anchor PHAS blocks. And also it runs at 0 using a jump trigger, no jailbreak or checkmate required. Qualcomm. As for Qualcomm devices, EDL Sahara expects signed Firehose or SBL images. My Quantum Second Core Loader or my QSACL.elf runs from RAM via COM port bypassing signature checks. And also it fakes dev info trust bits and can read write protected partitions. And now we are now in MediaTek. So in MediaTek, preloader has runtime handshake for signed loaders. Maybe download agent or the key blobs like in Keymaster or Keystore. And my Quantum Silicon Core Loader injected via USB UART using Broom handshake bypass. So it's possible in my Quantum Silicon Core Loader or my QSSL.elf to bypass some security mechanism using entropy capsules maybe. So now it simulates authenticated bot chain with entropy shroud. So it simulates it, maybe mimicking its trust and so on. So now let's slide it. Now here's for the Unisoc. So Unisoc expects signed stage 1, 2 loaders or the PIC expects it. So my Quantum Second Core Loader or my QSSL.elf inserted via UART, COM or over the air RAM trick. And also it overrides hardware boot vector with 0 execution. And now we are now in Intel Rockchip Samsung. So these devices most expect signed trust zone, CRU init or hard-coded RSA checks. So my Quantum Second Core Loader or my QSSL.elf fakes MMIO mappings, SPAVAR, TZRAM, DRAM controls or CTRL actually. So and also it bypasses lock execution areas using trust mirrored anchors. So my QSSL.elf have that. So here's the features of my Quantum Second Core Loader, and it executes directly from address 0. And also it is entropy based execution anchor and capsule spoofing, bypasses Apple IMG4, SHSH2, Qualcomm dev info and fuse bot checks, MTK DA handshake and Unisoc PAC validation. And it simulates full boot trust chain, TLV, CEPOS, CEP, digest, etc. And also it is fully processor agnostic, runs even on undefined SoCs or in future devices. And it boots from RAM, TFU, UART, or COM port injection. And also, this is legal, no exploit needed, and CVE free methodology. So this is the legal, or maybe I do not create it for malicious uses. So my QSSL.elf does not crack, decrypt, or steal data. And also I didn't use some OEM keys used. Ultra simulated not stolen. So I didn't brute force or use the CVE dependency like others, and also I do a proof of trust assumption, not an attack. And also it shows how trust can be modeled with entropy capsule and TLVs. So it's the comparison table. So the feature CVE required platform specific, secure boot bypass, free boot room execution, legal, non-exploit based, SSH2, AVB, TC required, entropy trust logic. So my quantum second co-loader does not require CVE, but some traditional exploits require CVE. Platform specific. So my quantum second co-loader is universal, works on all devices, while the traditional exploit is only 1 or 2. That's why it's device specific. Secure boot bypass. So my quantum second co-loader is capsule emulation or does not require some exploits and vulnerabilities, but for some sorry about that. And for those traditional exploits, it uses CVE dependent like others, hackers, and many of the security researchers. So pre-boot room execution. So my quantum second co-loader runs at 0. In most traditional exploits like Checkmate has start at boot room exploits, but others like from Qualcomm maybe it requires some buffer overflow actually. So legal, non-exploit based. So my quantum second co-loader is actually legal. It doesn't exploit the devices. And also for those traditional exploit, and yes, it depends because most likely they use it for malicious, piracy, and so on. And for SSH2, AVB, TC required. So my quantum second co-loader is simulated on it, so it can work for some perfect security like Apple A12+++ to make my elf trick the so-called perfect security, and it works. And for traditional exploits, it usually check. So maybe they are trying to create their sign or to trick, or maybe some exploits devs uses this one to make their exploits works. And also the entropy trust logic. My quantum second co-loader has many of the entropy trust logic, many of them. But for some traditional exploits, it is not because it's traditional. It's not relying for my quantum second co-loader features, but they rely on buffer overflow, vulnerabilities, and CVE. And this is my presentation today. I'm Sharif Muhaimin, and thank you.